Hello, my name's Jonathan from Mental Help. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about OCD, which is not just a bully, but I believe it's a monster as well. I read lots of posts about people saying OCD is a monster, and I think, well, it's not really, is it? It's a bully. No, actually, these people are right. It is a monster in the sense that not only does it want to bully you, it wants to consume you, and it grows larger and larger and greedier and wants more and more. It sucks all the energy out of your life, and if you give it an inch, it'll take a mile. And quite simply, the only way to beat this is with things like ERP, exposure response prevention. And exposure response prevention is a little bit like starving that bully. Starving the monster, actually. It's a monster. It wants to eat. It wants to keep on eating and eating away at your life and taking more of it. It's just a greedy monster, and we have to start to learn to starve it. And the way we starve it is with ERP, exposing ourselves to what the monster is trying to do and having a positive response where we delay feeding it our compulsions and our rituals and going around spending our time doing all these absolutely crazy daft things. They're not crazy and daft to you, and they're not crazy and daft to me, but if we look at it from a third person perspective, they don't really make a lot of sense. And sometimes we can be wrapped up and fooled into thinking that the compulsions we're doing are rational. Like you're asking a friend for reassurance, you have to go and check this twice. You start to rationalise and say, well, actually I do need to check it 7 times because you just don't know. I do need to ask that friend for that reassurance, but I know that they like me or they think that I'm okay. I don't need to really keep asking, but we make excuses for what the monster's doing by bullying us. It's bullying us, and then it's consuming the gifts we give it, the food we give it, in the sense of compulsions. So if you check a door lock 13 times, it's gone up from 2 to 7 to 13. That's OCD as well. If you check it 13 times, you're giving it that gift-wrapped meal. Here you go, 13 checks, there you go. And the next thing the monster says is, oh, you haven't tapped your foot on the floor 5 times. Oh, but it's going to ruin my shoes. Doesn't matter, I want your shoes ruined. Here you are, monster, here's my shoes. I've knocked the end off them, I'll have to go and buy some new ones. There you go. Because if you keep doing these things, trust me, you wreck things. I've wrecked so many things with OCD compulsions. So we've got to learn to starve the bully. And it's an analogy, isn't it? It's learning to starve the bully. And I think it's not a bad fuck bollocks. Bollocks! Try not to twitch so hard. Do you know, with tourettes, you try to suppress it. Anyone out there who's got tourettes, you try to suppress it so much. Oh God, no, that. Oh God, determined. If I do these things, I've got to be transparent and put them on the videos, and that's embarrassing for me. Well, we have to learn to starve the bully. And I think that one thing I've noticed that's really important, I've been doing these videos now for a little bit of time, not long, maybe a month and a bit. And since I've come out about having mental health issues to people, being very open and exposing my bully or the monster to people so they can understand and see it for what it is, it's made a little bit of difference because it's made me aware of exactly what it's up to. Before I would just congeal it all into part of my mind and think, I have to do these things, don't know why, I just always do, it's the OCD. It is the OCD, but let's make the OCD into a finite object or personality or person or something that we can perceive and actually do war with. It's very hard, isn't it, to fight OCD. How do you fight OCD? Let's make it to that monster that's bullying and starving us of our happiness. It's not a nice piece of work. We're going to fight it. We have to fight it. Otherwise, we're going to go through the rest of our lives in the same situation. And I'm 48, so life's running out. So I better start to do something quickly. So the way to starve it, I believe, would be to, first of all, expose it for what it is. Okay, I've got an OCD where I have to keep checking this, or I have to keep asking that person to go back to a shop. I've driven back 40 miles to say goodbye to a shopkeeper because he didn't say goodbye. That's crazy, but very powerful. So my monster took an hour and a half of my time away, anxiety levels went through the roof, and it wasn't a pleasant experience. And then I beat myself up for the rest of the day wondering why on earth I was doing it. So we do need to starve that monster. So we need to recognise what the monster is. It's a monster. It's trying to spoil us. It's trying to take our life away. It's trying to take our happiness away. And yes, then we have to bring in a response prevention. And that is, we have to not do the compulsion. That's almost impossible to someone who's got OCD to say, well, just don't do it. I'm not saying just don't do it. What I'm saying is we've got to put a bit of time in between the time that we would normally do the compulsion and then we actually do the compulsion. Just try and wait 30 minutes. It's not impossible to wait 30 minutes. It isn't. I've been doing it. It's really, really hard and you feel bad and it's not a nice place to be. But there is a small reward that you are building up some resilience and that you are getting your mind stronger. If we keep building resilience up, eventually it's going to get to the point where on some of the smaller compulsions, the smaller things that we might be able to cope with, we're going to be able to go, okay, I can hear the monster banging on about do this, do that, but I'm not going to. Because if you get to half an hour, check your anxiety level. It's normally gone from a 10 down to a 7. When it goes to a 7, we can do your compulsion then, can't you, if you want to? Or it's like deal or no deal, isn't it? I mean, you're always going to win. You can do your compulsion and get rid of the bad feeling. You've got anxiety levels are down to 7 out of 10. Or you can take a gamble that you're always going to win. You go, I know, I'll try and do an hour and see if my anxiety level's gone down. Do an hour. If your anxiety level's gone down again, you can bank that, can't you? Go, that was a really good win. But my guess is if you're like me in the way I've been dealing with things, it's encouraged me to go, okay, well, I've done an hour. I wonder if I can do half a day. Because when your anxiety level is then down to 5 out of 10, you're feeling like, don't see why I can't do this. And I've done it like a whole day and come back the next day. And then I thought, can't even remember what it was that I was anxious about. So I've had to regurgitate it in my mind and bring it up and thought, oh gosh, yeah, that's what it was. My anxiety is at 3. I've actually brought the compulsion back to life. So I could have completely forgotten it if I wanted to. And I think it's exciting and it is hard. It's not going to be easy. And it's going to be almost unbearable to go through things. I'm going through things at the minute. I'm not just saying this and, it's all hypothetical. I'm going through stuff at the minute, lots of things. I'm going through stuff at the minute that is so intense over such small things because I am not going to feed the bully. I'm not giving into it. I probably will because I'm struggling. But I'm having nightmares at night about the compulsion. That's how crazy it is. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I wake up in the morning exhausted, but I think, yeah, okay. I've got to keep doing it. It's really, really hard and I'm failing on some of them. But there's a couple that I think that I'm gaining a bit of ground on. And I keep thinking to myself, well, what's the point? I might just do the compulsion because these nightmares or these bad dreams or whatever are exhausting and I'm waking up in the morning feeling just rubbish and I'm never going to break free of this monster, this bully. I just go and give into it. But if I give into it, I'm just going to be in the same life I've always been in. Bullied by a monster. Even though it's a monster and it's trying to spoil our lives, we've really not got to be afraid of it. And that's kind of easier said than done. But this monster has no teeth. It can't actually do anything. And we know it can't do anything. We're just scared. Thank you for watching my video. And thank you for supporting my channel. Please do subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up as well. Thank you very much. Goodbye.